Hello my lovelies, welcome to the Spirit Tarot and Healing Arts channel. If you are new, welcome back. If you are a returning viewer, I am Rin, and you may notice if you have been around the channel that this is actually a remake of an older video that I did. So I had done this video a while back for how to play a game of Clue with your tarot deck. But the issue is that YouTube has kind of changed the rules on tarot tubers. So it used to be that it didn't matter if maybe some bits or bobs were showing a little bit in the artwork on the tarot cards. It was considered kind of like educational art, and so it was kind of like it wasn't considered lewd. Well, I know that recently many a YouTuber that I follow has gotten in trouble for using decks on their channel that show any bits or bobs. And I had used the Deviant Moon Tarot, which not only shows some bobs, but they are kind of like creepy, horror-esque bobs. And so I figured rather than wait until YouTube clips me for that, I would just take the video down and redo the video with a different deck. Now, depending on how picky YouTube wants to get, there are some images in the deck that I'm using today, which is the Housewives Tarot, that at some point in time, YouTube may object to this deck as well. But there are no bits or bobs, and I thought that it would be a fun deck to use for our murder mystery, the Housewives Tarot. So I just thought it would be a little cute, a little entertaining to use this deck for our murder mystery game. Now, this game is just plain fun. So this is just something that you can do absolutely just for fun with your tarot deck. Hey, you don't have a reading to do, but you want to, play a game. This is a great game for one person to play with their deck. It is also a really great way to get to know your deck better. So if you've been reading for a while but you have a new deck, this game is a great thing to play with that new deck so that you can familiarize yourself with the new deck, get used to the new deck, make a connection with the new deck, and that. So, if you've been reading for a while but you've got a new deck, or you've got a deck maybe that you've had for a while but you just haven't connected to it yet, maybe playing this game with that deck could be helpful to you. The other thing that it's great for is also if you are brand new to tarot, if you're just learning tarot, this is a really great game to play with your deck to help you learn tarot. It's great too, whether like you're learning tarot and you're just learning the basic meanings, or if you've been reading for a while, this can really be a great way to sort of break out of your routine, to stretch yourself as a reader and grow and learn maybe some different ways to interpret the cards or card combinations and things like that. So A, it's just a really fun game, and B, it can help you learn tarot, it can help you expand your tarot knowledge, and it can just help you to connect with decks as well. Alright, so I am going to do this in chapters. So I will do a chapter that shows you how to set up your board, and then I will do a chapter that shows you how to play the game. Alright, so this is the board, as I like to call it, and this is how I set up my board. Now, I found this game through the Astral Tarot Lady, and she found it from another tarot tuber, so I still have those links. I can't remember the original tarot tuber's name right now, but I will link that original video and the Astral Lady tarot video that I saw down in the description box so that you can go check out the originals. They don't necessarily set up their board, if you will, the same way that I do. This is just what works for me. I do typically put a little more room between the cards, between the piles when I play, but to fit everything in frame for this video, I kind of have things squished in a little closer together. But this is still how I set up the basic layout. Okay, I had to pause for a second because maintenance was doing some stuff in the hallway, but they seem to be done making noise now. So this is how I set up my board. So you're going to divide your deck into several different piles. The first pile here is going to be all of your major arcana, except the death card, which I place over here. And you'll see why when I show you how to play. But you want all of the major arcana except the death card here in this first pile. I'm going to place the death card over here. This second pile is your 4 aces. So they go in the pile next to that. And see, this is why I usually space them out just a little bit more when I play. But as I said, for the purpose of getting it into the frame on YouTube, I had to make them a little snug as a bug. So this pile is your minors, except your court cards and your aces. So this is the 2s through 10s of all the suits. So that goes here. Then up here we have each of the sets of court cards. So all of the court cards for the swords, the wands, the cups, and the pentacles, they're each in their own pile, and I put them in order from page to king. It just makes it easier when I play. So this is how I set up the game board. You've got your majors, except for the death card over here. You've got your aces of each suit here. You've got your 2s through 10s from the minors here. You have your death card here, and then it doesn't matter which order you put the suits up here, but you've got all of the court cards for the swords, the wands, the cups, and the pentacles. Again, you can have them in any order up here. It doesn't matter, but you do need to have them separated out. All right, so that is how you set up the game board. Now I'm going to start the chapter where I talk about how to play. All right, so this is how you play. This pile here that's our majors except for the death card, you'll draw a card from here, and this is who was murdered. Your aces here are the manner of death, and each suit for your aces, each ace corresponds to a different manner of death. These are going to be your clues as to who did it. These are going to be your suspects, but you're only going to have one suit as your suspects. I'm going to show you, because I know that sounds a little confusing, but it'll make sense as I show you how we play. So what you do is you start off by taking your majors minus the death card. You're going to shuffle that just for a real quick second. You're not actually thinking of a question or anything, so just give it a quick shuffle until it feels good to you. I turn over the top card, and this is who done it. Okay, so our murder victim, you can look at the art in the card, or you can just go off of your meanings, but I try to turn this archetype into a person, and I incorporate the art on the card. So, you know, the star can represent good times coming in after a lot of trials and tribulations. It represents, you know, hardships being over and the promise of a good future, right? So for this game, the star, right? This is a woman who was rags to riches. She started at the bottom, worked her way to the top. You know what? Maybe she had a cooking show, right? You're making up a story as you play this game. She's got that pie there. So, you know what? Maybe she was just a housewife. She had a crappy husband, and she threw herself into baking, and then she wound up doing one of those competition shows on the Food Network. She won big, and now she's a famous cookbook author. There we go. That's our story for her. That's who was killed, our star there. Now we need the manner of death. Again, this is our 4 aces. The Ace of Pentacles means blunt force trauma, some sort of bludgeoning death. The Ace of Wands means that they were shot. The Ace of Swords means that they were stabbed. And the Ace of Cups means that they were poisoned. So we'll give those a quick shuffle, and we will pick our manner of death. Okay, so our starlet, our little cookbook queen, she was bludgeoned to death. She was found bludgeoned to death. Now, since we have the pentacles as the murder weapon, that is going to be our pile of suspects. So we can take the cups, the wands, and the swords off the board. And then this is why I put them in order before I start. We'll put our page there. We'll put our knight there. And then we'll put our queen there. And our king. Just want to make sure everything is nice and in frame. Who is this one's cattywampus? Okay, so these are our suspects. Now we need some clues to tell us who did it. So that's where we get these 2 through 10s in the minors. We'll give them a good shuffle. Now, the original way apparently this game is done, and the original tarot tuber who did the video, she got this game out of a book. I do not remember the name of the book off the top of my head. I have it wish listed because I do want to try and buy it at some point in time. But I will try to make sure that I link the book down below in case you're curious as to what book it came from. Anyhow, so we give these a shuffle, and in the original version, you only draw 1 clue per suspect. For me, I don't particularly like to play that way. I draw 2 clues per suspect. And if you're really stumped, like if you narrow it down to like 2 suspects, you could always draw a 3rd clue. I would not draw more than 3. You're going to muddy the waters way too much, and I don't draw 3 unless I absolutely have to. I try to just keep it to 2. So this is how I lay out my clues. Again, 2 clues is not part of the original game, so you do this how you want to do this. So here's what I do. I lay 1 clue on each suspect. And again, this is going to be a little squished because I only have so much room. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles as our clue for the Page of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles shows somebody who wants a really good home and family life. That's very important to them. Family matters are very important to them. So this Page of Pentacles may be related to our star who was murdered. So for the Knight, we've got the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands is about success. Now, did the Knight of Pentacles rejoice in the star's success, or was the Knight of Pentacles jealous of the star's success? It can also mean a need to protect one's own energy. So maybe the Knight of Pentacles, maybe the star crossed them in a way that they felt that they needed to protect themselves from the star. For the Queen, we've got the 8 of Pentacles. It means she took up something new, a new hobby, a new career, something. So she may have actually been moving away from the star. Her path may be taking her away. We'll see with the second clue. And then we've got the 3 of Cups for the King of Pentacles. Now, if you do a lot of romance readings, you know that the 3 of Cups can indicate a third party, an additional person. So that could be a polygamous or polyamorous relationship, or it could mean cheating. But this is why I draw 2 clues, because we really need a little more context. So after I do the first set, sometimes I'll shuffle again, sometimes I don't. I'm not feeling shuffling again right now. So we've got the 6 of Wands to go with the 10 of Pentacles. The 6 of Wands, good news and advancement. It looks like this person was pretty happy. I'm still going to say they were probably related to this person, and they got some good news or made an advancement in their life. And so they probably don't have motive to be the one who did this. 2 of Swords, this could mean, okay, they were looking for success. The 2 of Swords can mean a stalemate. Maybe they felt that the star had brought about a stalling of their happiness and success. With the 8 of Pentacles here, we've got the 6 of Pentacles, kindness, gifts, and charity. I really think, to me, those 2 cards say to me that this person has nothing but kindness and happy, warm thoughts towards this person. They're parting ways amicably. And then for the King, we've got the 4 of Wands, which can be a new relationship. I wonder if the King here was involved with the star. The star maybe found somebody new, and so the King got jealous and offed the star. All right, so let's look at this. I like to first weed out anyone that I think, nope, not you. So I really don't think it's the Queen. What I do then is I put the clues below the person. I really don't think it's this Page either. I think that they were happy with our star, so I'm going to put the clues below that. All right, so we've got these 2. 7 of Wands and Swords, stalemate. The Knight is a possibility, but, love and jealousy is a huge motivator for murder, so I think I'm going to put my money on the King. So what you do is, as you can see, you look at the clues and think, from the clues, who might have killed our victim. I'm going to, in this particular case, I'm going to put my money on the King of Pentacles. That is who I suspect. That's who I'm saying did it. It was the King of Pentacles in the kitchen. What's heavy? With a cutting board. There we go. That's what they bludgeoned her with. All right, so now what you do to figure out who the killer is, we're going to turn the star over, and then we're going to add death into this pile of the majors. Now, I like to break mine open randomly, put the death card in, and then give it a good shuffle. But you can put the death card into the deck however you like. All right, so I've shuffled. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay the majors out on top of our suspects. And we are looking for the death card. Once we get the death card, whoever that lands on, that is our killer. Whoo! We called it right. So we got death on the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles was jealous because our star was moving on with somebody else. Possibly they hadn't completely ended things with the King of Pentacles before moving on with this other person, and that could be what enraged our King of Pentacles to bludgeon our star to death. It might even have been a crime of passion. They may have gotten into a heated debate, and so he decided to, or didn't even necessarily decide, he just went into a fit of rage and bludgeoned her to death in the kitchen with the nearest heavy object. So there you go. That is how you play a game of Tarot Clue, or some people call it Tarot Whodunit. You can call it whichever you want. It just reminds me so much of the game of Clue, which I happened to love as a child. I also loved the movie Clue with Tim Curry. How can you not? I mean, he's an icon. So I really love this game. It's so much fun to play. Not only is it fun to play, but it's a great way to connect with a deck. And then once you're done, you just break it back into your piles if you want to play another game and go from there. But that is how you play Tarot Clue. One of my favorite tarot games to play. I even taught this to my 11-year-old, and he absolutely loves to play this game. So he just thinks it's so fun. And he has an interest in tarot, so he kind of learns a little bit about tarot while he plays the game. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, because that is just invaluable here on YouTube for YouTube success. Thank you so much to all of you who have already subscribed. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you have other tarot games that you would like me to learn and then teach, or if you're curious if I know another tarot game that I haven't done a video on yet, leave that down in the comments, because, you know, if there's other games you guys want to learn, I am happy to look into them, start playing them, and then teach them if there's something that you are interested in. I know that, what is it? There was one that was recommended to me, but it takes more than one person to play. So I have not actually gotten around to that one yet, because I'd have to have somebody in the video really for me to do the video the way I want to. But that might be a future one that I do. So let me know in the comments down below. And until I see you again, my lovelies, blessings to you wherever your journey finds you.